so happy. All right, now let's go to the next page. We owe duties, right? We owe duties to clients and customers. And what are these duties? Let's take a look at this. Legal duties. I got it from the dictionary. So what is legal duties? Basically to do or not to do an action required by law in a very simple way. This is legal duty. We either do something required by law or we don't do something required by law. Also, we have ethical duties. A moral requirement is to follow a certain course of action, that is to do or refrain from doing certain things. Ethical duties is a moral requirement, and our Bible, so to say, is code of ethics. Code of ethics we go by. We need to understand it, and we need to know how to protect ourselves, and that's what we will be doing here, learning how to do that. And the last thing is moral duties. Moral duties, this is what I added. This is what I added. I didn't see in any legal documentation this particular topic, but I added that. What is moral duty? Is to pursue what we believe is right, act based on our own conscience and moral beliefs. So that's what moral duties are. In this industry, and it's not a secret, we have immoral people. We do have quite a bit of immoral people.
Not in this company, let me tell you.
Not in this company, absolutely. But immoral people act immorally. And to me, this is so painful to me when someone really abuses someone for money, for any other reason. It's not right, guys. It's not right. So before you see, of course, we need to make a living. Of course, we need money to create our family certain type of lifestyle. I understand that. But before the dollar sign kind of clicks in your eyes, think about morality first. It will be paid off, guys. It will be paid off. Don't go by anything that may not be moral. So morality is very important. I need to tell you, I went to the FBI website and I'm so shocked. I found this, there are tons of different things, but these two guys are brothers. They came from my country, from the Ukraine. They are wanted by FBI, and they are amazingly, they have done a lot of bad things. I'm so furious. That's when I read that, especially when I saw where they came from. I became so furious. I don't know, it's unbelievable. But this is what I want to tell you. Do not think of money first. Think of yourself. Are you really that type of person that another person works with you and benefits from you? So please, always remember that. Okay. Now, in order for us to comply with everything that we just discussed, legal duties, ethical duties, we need to adhere to all the laws, rules, and regulations that apply to our business that are established by local, state, and federal government, as well as we need to comply with office policies and procedures. So those are the rules and regulations, the laws for us. There are tons of laws, right? Where do the laws come from? Real estate laws, where do they come from?
Litigation.
Litigation, yeah, that's good, that's good. So they come from the government, local government, right? Federal government, they come from state government, right? They come from all over. So how in the world do we know how to deal with those laws? And that's what we will, it's not that hard, guys. I really tell you, it takes a little bit of practice and coming to the training that will help you a lot. And then the last portion of this page, it says non-compliance brings consequences and risks and lawsuits, right? So, and the results are very bad. It's penalties, fees, and fines, ceasing business operations, criminal penalties, damage to business reputation, loss of commissions, loss of license, and exposure to a lawsuit. So it's not really a good thing. And of course, it requires a severe action on somebody's part to get to this point. But believe me, when I talked to the DRE legal section, and what I heard is really unbelievable. They are investigating every single complaint, guys. Every single complaint, and that leads to a lot of trouble for not only the agents, The agents have tons of trouble. They're broker as well, of course. So please remember that. Yes, Margaret.
No, I was just gonna say, not only the agent's license, but you put the broker's license at risk. It
Yes.
puts everybody else's, the broker can't operate, then everybody agents can.
Yes, that's what I keep trying to kind of outline here, that broker, she is responsible for everything you do, everything you don't do, everything you say, you don't say. She is responsible. So we need to, if you like to work here, if you love Margaret, you need to remember about her first when you talk about something. And here's what the card information says. Broker's failure to provide adequate supervision can lead to disastrous consequences. Okay, not only for the affected consumers, but also for the broker's future as a real estate licensee. So they take it very seriously. They have a lot of different ways to handle complaints, and they do it very well, actually. All right. So code of ethics. This is what I have on my desk. I refer it quite often. I printed out from NAR. And I have it in front of me. It's a good idea if you like to be really on top. And if you like to impress your potential clients, what I do, I bring it with me and show that you will not see it from any other agent. But I am the only one who has this on my desk consistently. I also have, on my desk, I also have business professional codes and a set of laws for us. And I also have Westlaw, which is the real estate law that was sent to me by car attorney. So I have those documents on my desk. I constantly go and read and find, and that's how I know the answers to your questions. All right. So it's really a good idea, a big, powerful tool to impress a future client, saying, this world is corrupt, we know that, but the real estate industry is very corrupt. So it may be really bad for you to deal with a bad agent, but not me, right? This is what I have in my hands. So please remember, that might be a good tip for you. All right. And then of course, we have other things we need to care about, and that's what we're going to work right now. All right. So now that we covered this general I gave you general information, and I believe we understand the difference between people who we work with right now, right? We will look at them differently now. So let's find out what is our responsibility, or what are our responsibilities. You have the second set of documents here that Ashley made for us, and I prepared for you. So let's understand the differences and the requirements, legal requirements. Okay. This is this one. This is this. Please. Yeah. Okay. So the first one says here, client versus customer. We see all that. Who is a client? From the legal perspective, the client is a person with whom a brokerage has an agency relationship. That's your answer. We already determined that. Who is the customer? The customer is a party in the transaction who receives information, services, or benefits, but has no fiduciary relationship with the brokerage. So that's very easy. Customers, we have an agency with them, a relationship. With all others, we don't. Very easy to remember. Next, let's go to the next, please. Next one, obligation of the agent to the customer. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make this your own document, because it's very important to understand what is it you owe to your customer, right? From the legal standpoint, and it does tell you reasonable skill and effort, accountability, disclosure. That's very clear, right? Okay, so let's go to the next page, please. The next page tells you duties owed by agent. Duties owed by agent to client. This is very good. When I saw that and remember that helped me a lot. Licensee works for the client. Remember, under the client category, you work for that person. But with the customer, licensee works with the customer. So it's two big things. It really helped me to remember that. And then, of course, all the list here to the left, the duties of all the duties are basically fiduciary duties, which talk about in a second. All right, so as you can see to the customer, I'll read it one more time to the customer and then we'll talk about clients. Licensing works with the customer. It requires honesty, good service, accountability for trust records and funds, good faith, disclosure of material facts and conditions not within reasonable observation or attention, reasonable skill, care and diligence, information and no advocacy, relationship based on ordinary degree of trust and care. So if you want to memorize it later, just for your information, I thought it will be very helpful if you can have that, very helpful to refer to you. What do you owe to a customer? Basically to remember, you need to provide good service, honest and fair dealings. That's very simple. And whenever you work with someone, if somebody tries to get some information from you, if you're willing to do that, do that. Do you need to do it? No, you don't have to. You don't have agency relationship with that person. You don't have any obligations yet. So if you get prospect who wants information from you and you don't want to give it to that person, don't. But do it very nicely. Don't open yourself to trouble because they will complain most likely if you abuse them. All right. So now that let's go to the next one. Now, let's talk about agency. How, when, what, and then we will understand how to handle that. Guys, are you finished eating? You finished?
Yeah, they're.
Oh, good for me. All right, I'm so hungry looking at you. Well, I'm kidding. All right.
That's true, Barbara.
No. So, all right, creation of agency relationship. Let's talk about agency now. It's very important to me, guys, very important that from this second on, we understand exactly what we need to do. So agency can be created by several ways. Express written agreements between the principal and the broker, such as the listing or buyer representation agreement, okay? It can be express oral agreement, orally it can be created. And the third one, I want to start with this one and then we'll go to regular agency relationship. Implied agency. This is accidental or implied agency, is based on the circumstances, conduct and actions of the agent, which lead the principal to believe the agent is acting on their behalf. How do you understand accidental or implied agency? Give me, please, your understanding, because this is very crucial that you do not create this agency, accidental agency, please. Give me an example. How do you understand accidental, incidental agency?
Okay, so let me give an example of a lead, a prospect that came in, asked me about all these questions for a particular property. And if I could find out about it, what's going on with that property. And then also, if that's not good, what other properties would be available, right? I've spoken to her, never met her, spoken to her a few times. Have gone through and talked to the listing agent, understood about what litigation was going on, came back and reported to her what I learned, and that I would follow up to find out what the results were. So to me, that's an implied agency. Am I correct or not?
I would think so. You were acting on her behalf. With no contract.
Yeah, I don't.
So if you have done what you have done, could be, if you just send her information from MLS, like description of the property, that is not.
No, they already have that.
You already have that done. Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was in an ethics complaint hearing as a complainant against someone who was identified by his client as his agent, went directly to my seller and offered to buy it behind
Behind your back.
my back using his agent.
Okay.
His agent said, he's not my client because we don't have a buyer broker agreement.
Mhm.
I argued your buyer identified you as the agent, and not only was he gonna write the offer with you, with that agent, but also wanted you to cancel your listing with me and list with him so that he could serve you. And anyway, we won, but that was definitely, and the agent swore up and down that he didn't ask his buyer to do that. And that his buyer was not his buyer because he didn't have an agreement with him, and he lost that ethics.
Yeah.
complaint.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
It was not fun,
Yeah, that was not.
but anyway, that was definitely implied, and I stood hard on conduct on that
Yeah,
one.
good for you. So another example that may be a good example that you understand. Quite often you go around your area or any area in your car, and you all of a sudden you see for sale by owner sign. That's a very good example where agents just absolutely do the wrong thing. They come into the house, they tell the seller, I'm not after listing your house, believe me, I am not. What I do want to help you. Maybe I will get a client myself through helping you, but I'm not really. You don't want to sell with agent, no problem. You do whatever you want, but I just want to help you to do it right. Then let me hold an open house for you. And let's say that he holds an open house. Let's say he does a lot of things. Can he do that? This is incidental or accidental agency he creates, because now the seller thinks that this guy works with him or for him. You understand? So don't do that. Sometimes you have neighbors, sometimes you have relatives, and relatives are the worst. Please please go with me, help me with that, please. And what you do help without creating an agent. Oh, she is my relative. Who cares? Law does not care. Law cares only about everything that you are doing wrong. And that's what it's after you. And the attorneys are very good at proving that you have done something wrong. So another example that I came across today within this company, I came across the situation where an agent is having a buyer and selling a home to the buyer. Okay, that's fine, but the home is for sale by owner. And he doesn't have any relationship with the owner. And what does he do? He helps the owner. He gets all the disclosures, he gets everything for the owner. And I said, stop, you're putting yourself and Margaret into trouble. Don't do that. Either have a listing with the owner, or we need to approach it in a certain manner so that it's very clear you're not an agent of the seller, right? See, so please be very careful. And I think that every session you attend with me, after this session, you will not be doing business as usual. You will remember what I'm telling you, because everything I'm telling you is very important.
So let me ask, two
Yeah.
questions come to mind. So the company for sale by owner, which has agents, right? that
No,
work for them.
it's for sale by owner.
No,
I understand, but I'm saying, do they still have agency and write listing agreements and everything, like Tito here in town, the whole company called for sale by owner?
Oh, you're talking about the company?
Yes, so they
I've
literally
never
are.
heard of that company.
Or
I
help
never
you sell.
heard
And
of
his
it.
name, or help you sell. or
Oh,
help
Del
you
Sell,
sell.
that's
Yeah, they
That's a
do,
brokerage.
they
Okay.
No,
do.
they take listings. They take
So
listings.
they do
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
First off, my owner,
Yeah.
first off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you get a
The only thing is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tito and help you
Yeah.
sell.
So the bottom line is, let's continue, the bottom line is that be very careful when you do something for someone. There is another agent who helped an old woman with her groceries, right? With her cleaning stuff, she helped, hoping that she will get a listing. And the woman used her, and she never gave her the listing. But then the same woman complained about her behavior as an agent. So, and this agent was in a big trouble because she was doing, if she is just a neighbor without a license, it will be okay. But once we have a license, everything changes. Once we have a license. Yeah.
Can I ask a couple of, that one and the prior one? So,
Yes.
if the agent is helping a seller, I mean, FISBO. I mean, normally you would have a seller non-agency disclosure, written, however. And that you think would protect you, but it doesn't, because basically in the eyes of the law, if you're doing anything to help that seller, they see it as agency, that you have a duty to.
We need to be very careful, and there is a document, there are several documents that we may use for this situation, but the best approach is to make it a company policy and get an attorney to draft a document. That's the best approach in this situation. Yeah,
Well, why would I hire an attorney? I thought Carr takes care of us, no, therefore, no.
not for everything in the world, but if you want to do it even better, even safer, that's what I will do. I have done it for my broker.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, all right, so let's go back to that situation.
Okay,
So we filled out a seller non-agency, but we're not giving them any we're not supposed to give them any forms or anything, or?
well, I don't remember what that document says, non-agency disclosure. I don't remember, I need to review that
Yeah,
document,
it's
I haven't done it in a
non-agency.
long time,
Okay.
because everything we do with agency, so I need to read it. So let's talk about it later, because I really need to remember what it is all about.
Then the second one, I don't remember what you were saying, so.
All
I
right,
don't remember
okay.
what my
So,
comment-
but
my
you,
question-
basically you understand my point, right? You got my point. Before you do something for someone, remember you need to have an agency to be covered.
No, I wanted to make a little comment just so people, because this is a biggie. As agents, we're out there, we see some good deals, right? And we think, well, we really like to get that deal, right? So it's there's a fine line, and this is my comment, fine line of making a deal, of buying it yourself or representing a buyer and approaching particularly an elderly person, right? Elderly like my age, right? And
Overnight.
and so, for me, you have to be so careful because of elder abuse laws and things, and,
Oh.
taking advantage of that situation and trying to get a good deal either for yourself or your
Yeah, yeah.
buyer, right?
Yeah, very careful when we deal with blind people, hard to hearing people. Very, very important that if I were you, I wouldn't take those listings. I had one blind person, I wouldn't do that personally, it's my opinion. And I went to that person, I met him, he was blind, and I decided not to deal with that person. So I left and I didn't want that listing. It's a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble. You really need to be familiar with it.
Discrimination.
Well, it's
It's like saying if you're green, I won't work with you.
no, that's right. But what I'm saying, this is what, let me finish. So what I'm saying is this, you're not discriminating if you feel that you don't have enough knowledge to handle that person. That's a different thing. I felt I don't have enough knowledge to handle how real estate knowledge and all the handling old people laws and all this. It's a lot of things you need to know. That's why we have specialties. We have specialties, right? People who are handling older people who are handling, for example, renters, and all this. We have specialties because people need to know what they're doing. I didn't feel that's why I didn't take this listing. I just couldn't do this harm to this person. I just couldn't do that because I was not the right person, agent for that person. And I told him that I'm not the right agent for her. Yeah.
I have advised people who don't have their license to not get their license if they wanna work for an investor. Because once you have your license, you have a.
Yeah, things
you have
change.
a-
That's my
you have a
advice
duty
to-
to the seller. And you
That's
end
my-
up with a target on your back.
Okay, very good, very good. So I think we covered that quite clearly, that we know what we're dealing with right now. All right, let's continue. Now, creating a relationship, fiduciary relationship is the key to everything, in this business, fiduciary relationship. So what are they? And what does this mean, fiduciary? The word fiduciary is derived from the Latin words confidence, trust, faith, loyalty. So this is all the basics of the word fiduciary, right? Trust, loyalty, honesty, confidence, all this is very, very important. under California law, a certain special relationships involving a high degree of trust, fidelity, integrity, and confidence, and the exercise of professional expertise is called fiduciary duties. That's the highest duties under the law. Guys, you really need to understand that we do need to know those duties. So I made this for you. Do you have it, please? You do. So let's take a look. Should be here in that passage. Should be here. Do you have that, all guys? You should have it. You have it? Okay, very good. So I made this for you that it's very clear from now on what your fiduciary duties are. Okay, so, yeah, we're good. So here what they are all about. Fiduciary duties, okay? So it's basically old car. Do you remember when we take the exam? Old car, that's how we learned. If you don't remember, that's fine too. But this is from NAR. I printed it from NAR. And now you know it will be in front of you, you can read it and you review this lesson with whenever you have a chance. It's loyalty, confidentiality, right? Disclosure, obedience, reasonable care and due diligence, accounting. And one thing that is not here, and it should be here, is, do you know what it is? Explain and counsel. Yeah, our attorney sent me this article from his documents that says one of the reasons for litigation is agents do not really explain documents. They do not explain documents, but how in the world you would explain 16 pages of documents, right? Or just one document. What about other documents? What about tons of documents we're dealing with? I will teach you. I found a good way to do it. I'll teach you how to do it. So this is fiduciary duties. I am not going to read them. You can read yourself. What I highly recommend for you to remember old car. What does old car? Can you tell me? Let's start with you. O for what word here? O.
Obedience.
Obedience. You please, next one.
Loyalty.
I'm sorry?
Loyalty.
Old, loyalty, you're right. Next,
Disclosure.
old disclosure. Nikki, next one.
Accounting.
Old
car.
car. The next word is car.
Oh,
C.
confidentiality.
Confidentiality. Next one, Barbara. I'm sorry, Morgan,
Okay,
please.
I can help Barbara.
I don't know why.